Good morning. Thank you for coming to our recording today. I'm going to show some of our MCAS strategy about how to have a reading strategy. Okay, so when we are reading the MCAS, right? So this is the 2023 MCAS. We see that there is lots and lots and lots of reading, okay? So I'm going to use these two passages today about algae and about algae, okay? So when we look at the first passage, right, students will notice that it is a lot of reading. So here, look, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, no, 30, 34 paragraphs. And yes, some of the paragraphs are very short, one sentence, right? But this is a lot of reading, right? And then you go to the next passage, right? So again, these are the paired texts like we saw in class. And then the second text is here, 11 paragraphs, right? So what did we have? 33 and 11, right? 34 and 11, right? So we just got there, right? 34 paragraphs plus 11 more. That's right, 45 paragraphs of reading, even before you get to a question, okay? So after doing all that reading, then you get to the first question, okay? So the first question here is number 14, which inside this one, and we would see there's question 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22, right, are about these two passages, okay? So what we need is we need a strategy, okay? So we've talked about the different pieces, okay, of a reading, okay? And we saw that here in class before, right? That these are the pieces of a MCAS exam. The pieces are parts of an MCAS exam. We always have the instructions, the purpose setting statement, the title, and the author. Okay, so let's see, what's this one do? Right, so we have the instructions, the purpose setting statement, the title, and the author. So here on our questions, we see them here, the purpose setting statement, title, instructions, purpose setting statement, title, author. And the next one also has them, instructions, purpose setting statement, title, author. So we're going to use that in our reading strategy. Okay, so in our reading strategy, the first thing we're going to do are here. So first it says, read the instruction, step 1, read the instructions to the passages first. This will explain how the passages are connected if there are 2 or more in a section. Step 2, read the title and purpose statement for the first text next. Read the title and purpose statement for the second text next. And I might even add in, read the title let me switch that. I might say, read the purpose statement, right? Title and author for the first text next, and then do the same for the second text. Okay, so that looks like this, right? So when I go in, I go to the first article in the pair, right? And let me see, I think I like this green. Okay, so this is the first thing I read. Read the articles about algae and then answer the questions that follow. Then I go, the second thing I read is here, 3 and 4. So read the articles about algae and then answer the questions that follow. This article explains the many potential uses of algae. Can algae save the world? The earth is crying out for a hero. This natural resource may be the answer. By Edwina Langley. Okay. Then when I go to the next passage, similar, I'm going to continue my numbers, right? So I just did 4. So here I'm going to go 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Read the articles about algae and then answer the questions that follow. This article described the unlikely but growing popularity of seaweed. The Ocean Farmers Trying to Save the World with Seaweed by Melissa Godin. Okay, so now I've done my first 8 steps. And now, after I've read these 4, right? I've read, right? I don't want to start reading these 45 paragraphs. I'm going to skip ahead and I'm going to look at the questions. Okay, so this is always a good strategy that you can look at the questions before you start to read. Okay, and our strategy is going to be, right, after you read the purpose statement, title, and author, okay, use your dictionary, try to understand these 2 parts very well. Okay, so if you're looking at this now, right, and you're saying, I don't know algae, you should look for the word algae in your dictionary. Okay, if you're saying, you know, I don't know the word seaweed, right, you should look for seaweed in your dictionary. Then we're going to skip all the way ahead to the composition question. Okay, so you can use this to navigate quickly, or you can use these arrow buttons to go to the next question. For this video, I'm going to use this to navigate quickly and see this last question. Here is the composition. Okay, so I've got the texts over here, and then here I've got the composition question. So that's the composition question. Let me see if it'll get any bigger. If I expand a little bit. Okay, so it says, for this question, you will write an essay based on the passages. Your writing should present and develop a central idea or thesis, provide evidence and or details from the passages, use correct grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Based on Can Algae Save the World and The Ocean Farmers, write an argument in the form of a letter to your state lawmakers advocating for algae and seaweed farming. Be sure to use details from both articles to develop your letter. Okay, now today I'm not going to teach about how we understand this question. That's going to be the next lesson. I'm just teaching about the reading order. Okay, so at this point, we've numbered all the way to number 8, and I made a mistake, so I wish I had numbered this right. This is going to be number 9. Okay, so number 9, read the question, right? Read the composition question. Okay, and the reason why we read the composition question is then we can go back, right? Or is now we're thinking about this, right? We're grabbing this question and holding it inside our brain while we read. Okay, so I normally have a graphic over here, right, that I like to show. Let's see if we can find my brain. There you go. Okay, so now it's my brain while reading those 2 texts, right? I'm thinking about, right? So I've got Can Algae Save the World and The Ocean Farmers. So your brain while reading Can Algae Save the World and ocean farmers. Menino, are you watching the presentation? What are you doing with your hands?
My hands?
Yeah.
They moving here?
No. Yeah, you have to put your phone away. Yes, you do. It's behind your computer screen. Turn it, right? See, it's red. I can see it right here.
That's weird.
Okay. Shake it. Shake it harder. Okay. Turn it upside down. Okay. Just put your phone away. Okay. Now I know you'll be able to watch this on YouTube very soon. Okay. Okay. So this is, right? This is your brain while reading. So holding this inside our brain. Now we're thinking about, right? What's this? Advocating for seaweed and algae farming, right? That's our composition question. So that's like saying, right? The good, right? The good parts, or maybe you say pros of algae and seaweed farming. Okay. And then we might also get some themes or some big ideas to hold into our brain as well. When we go to the, bless you, when we go to the multiple choice questions. Okay. So that's our next, that's the next piece of our reading strategy, right? So after we read the composition question, use a dictionary to try to understand this question very well before you read, and then read the multiple choice questions. And then last, step 7, read the actual passages. Okay. So now you would use your journal, or sorry, not use your journal, use your dictionary, make sure you understand this, right? So if you don't know the word advocate, you look it up in your word to word journal. I think that's the only word there that you wouldn't know at this point. Okay, now this is when we now go to read the multiple choice questions, right? Someone was saying to me, wouldn't the exam be easy if you knew the questions before you took the exam? Of course, it would be too easy. That would be cheating. But here, you know the questions before you do the reading. So that's also kind of nice. Okay, so you have that thing in your brain that you're going to hold on to while you read. Okay, so if I continued with my numbering at this point, this would be number 10. Okay, and then I would go to my next question. Let's see if I can do this here. This question here would be number 12. Okay, read the next question. I'm going to make a video where I actually read them to you as well. But this one, I'm just showing the numbering strategy. The next question, so this question is 13. And then go to the next question. When it loads, this one is, what number is this one? Exactly, right? This one's 14. Okay. And then now reading step, right, 15. Then we've got, go to the next one here, reading step 16, okay? And then this, now we've got a 2-part question, part A and part B. Depends how you number this. Let's just call the whole thing, this is 17, go all the way, right, down to the bottom, read both parts. Next question is like a drag and drop question, a technology enhanced question. So this is number 18. Okay. And then we're back to the composition question. So now, right, we've read all the way to number 18. Okay. So finally now, this is when we're going to read the actual main texts. okay? And I like to tell my students, do it on this screen because you can take notes, right? And do highlighting that's going to help you in your composition, okay? And you can toggle or switch easily between the two readings. You can make it wide, right? And still toggle, right? And you should even be able to do a lot of different things, like you can, you could put in a sticky note here and you'd say like, hello friends, okay? And I've got some friends here in the room to me today, A, E, and A, right? I'm just gonna use their initials for privacy, but I can go in and I should be able to see what I wrote to them, right? But see, I've got my note there. When I go back to a different page, my little notepad is empty. So that's why my suggestion here is do your reading and the most of your work here on this page where you've got the two texts side by side, right, with the question, okay? I think it's good to make it wider like this as well, for you to do your reading. Okay, so let's see, now I'm lost. What number did we get up to? 18? So now we're ready for 19? Okay, so now this is finally, right? Step 19, we begin reading all of this. Okay, and then, right, step 20 is we would read this main text. Okay, reading all the way here, right, as you imagine, all the way to the bottom before, right, you start to answer your multiple choice and composition questions. Okay, so I'm going to stop my recording here. Remember here, these are our steps. I hope they help you to save time and energy by reading the MCAS exam effectively, right? If you open the MCAS exam, right, and the first thing it tells you to do is read this 34 paragraph text about algae, you're probably going to feel overwhelmed, right? You're not going to know where to put your energy, right? And you're not going to know what to grab and hold in your brain while you're reading, okay? So thank you for studying with me today, and good luck on your exam.